These heartbreaking images show the final moments of a frail old lion who was once king of his land before he starved to death. He was kicked out of his pride and became emaciated after the protection and food that his family used to provide was stripped away. Males usually leave their pride after losing to a challenger in a fight, leaving the loser to scavenge for food. Surviving losers often become nomads and have to fend for themselves. The lion loses weight. They scavenge more than they hunt as they grow older. The lion, known as Skybed Scar, was well known in Kruger National Park, South Africa, where he was pictured. The once mighty beast looked down to the ground as he lived out his final days in the Kruger National Park. The frail old animal appeared to be in agony as it languished in the grass. The heartbreaking images were captured by Larry Anthony Pennell, 64, from California. In his blog, he described coming across the lion, who he initially saw drinking from a watering hole. After he had his fill of water, he struggled to his feet, hardly able to stand. What you did not notice while he was drinking, he literally was nothing but skin and bones. He describes how, as the lion moved away from the water, he staggered as if he was drunk towards a small rise, trying to catch his breath every few steps. After reaching the rise, he began slowly descending to the ground, but eventually collapsed. It was evident he was in his last days, if not his last hours, on this earth, he said. After a while, Larry and a friend drove over to where the lion had come to rest. We found him lying in the grass, exhausted, unable to move. We were no more than 5 feet from him as he lay dying in the shade of a tree. I just wanted him to know that he would not die alone as he struggled to breathe, his chest rising only every so often. Then a last twitch of an ear, his last breath, he was gone. The king was dead, Larry remarked. I sat with him only feet away, locking eyes and starting at one another as I watched for an hour as the life leave his body. I wanted him to know he would not die alone. Not wanting to sound crass, I remember when my grandmother was in the hospital and I visited her for the last time the night she passed. We did not say a word. Both of us just knew this was the end, and we just stared at each other, locking eyes. This is the first time since then that I felt the same feeling, connecting with another being on a spiritual level, just